is good.
La comida es rica.
I like to eat it.
Me gusta comerla.
I like fruit.
Me gusta la fruta.
I like fruit.
Me gusta la fruta.
The apples.
Las manzanas.
The apples.
Las manzanas.
The bananas.
Las bananas.
The bananas.
Las bananas.
The oranges.
Las naranjas.
The oranges.
Las naranjas.
The pineapple.
La piña.
The pineapple.
La piña.
The watermelon.
Sandía.
The watermelon.
Sandía.
The grapes.
Las uvas.
The grapes.
Las uvas.
Give me fruit. Give me fruta.
Dame fruta, dame la fruta.
Food is good.
La comida es rica.
I like to eat it.
Me gusta comerla.
I like breakfast.
Me gusta el desayuno.
I like breakfast.
Me gusta el desayuno.
The pancakes.
Los panqueques.
The pancakes.
Los panqueques.
The eggs.
Los huevos.
The eggs.
Los huevos.
The juice.
El jugo.
The juice.
El jugo.
The sausage.
La salchicha.
The sausage.
La salchicha.
The milk.
La leche.
The milk.
La leche.
The cereal.
El cereal.
The cereal.
El cereal.
Give me breakfast. Give me breakfast.
Dame desayuno. Desayuno esa.
Food is good.
La comida es rica.
I like to eat it.
Me gusta comerla.
I like lunch.
Me gusta el almuerzo.
Okay, mix your dry ingredients together. 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Now I'm cutting back on the salt because the mayonnaise is a prepared food, probably has some salt in it. Now you put the 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise into the mixture. Whisk it around. You're going to turn this again into a crumbly texture. Just keep whisking, and you do pretty good this way. Now it's time to add the hot milk. That's why I'm using a whisk. This is going to be very hot milk. I'm only adding about half of the volume of milk that the recipe calls for. And all I'm doing is cooling off the milk now. In a second I'll just go back to my hands. Okay. Now just knead the dough. You get it all mixed up like I'm doing here. It's just like making regular tortillas, but you have, again, different ingredients, so you're going to have different textures. Turn it onto a dry surface, a flat surface, and knead it for about 3 or 4 minutes. One thing about using mayonnaise rather than any kind of shortening is whenever you warm up a tortilla that, let's say, was in the refrigerator overnight, the shortening melts within the tortilla, and that's what causes it to come back to being flexible. But with mayonnaise, it's best to eat them the same day. Same technique here applies. You roll out your masa into about a dozen golf ball sized balls. I roll them, I flatten the disc a little bit, trying to keep them round as possible, and I do a little tuck under, which you don't have to do. do this with all the masa till you have all of it rolled out into little balls. Two cups makes about a dozen, and that's about what I have here. It depends on the size of the masa ball that you yourself make. So you can make more than that if you just use a smaller amount per ball. Okay, now cover the masa balls with plastic. And let them rest for at least 30 minutes. With your comal preheated between 4 and 6, although I've got a feeling that because of the mayonnaise rather than the shortening, remember there's an egg in mayonnaise, it's quite possible that that heat will have to be reduced. I'll find out here a little bit. Now I roll it out into a circle once more. This dough is a little sticky. It'll probably stick to my bolillo. Yep, there you go. That's okay, just turn it around. You can dust your bolillo with flour, or you can dust the masa ball itself with flour. The idea is just to keep the masa from sticking to the wooden bolillo. I roll forward once, I roll back once, and then I flip it 1/2 turn. As the tortilla gets larger, I have to turn my bolillo. I have to roll more than once or twice. This is what I'm trying to do here, demonstrate that you can get your tortilla almost as large as you want. This one's about 8 inches in diameter. This griddle feels kind of hot. See, it's already bubbling. I'm going to turn it around. Let's see what it looks like there. Yeah, it's already cooking on that side. I can feel the heat next to me here as I roll it out, and sure enough, yep, it's too hot. The griddle is too hot for the ingredients that's in this masa. So I'll turn it down to about 3, maybe 4, at the low end of 4. Let the pan cool a little bit. The griddle will cool as you cook your tortillas anyway. The tortilla absorbs some of that heat, so that's what causes the pan to cool. You can make this tortilla as big around as you want. The bigger around and the thinner it is, the easier it is to make burritos. What I call dinner tortillas are a little bit thicker. I tend to use those just for tearing off a chunk like bread, and when I'm having my dinner. Okay. Now I'm going to I think this is the last tortilla here. Now I'm going to cover it up with a cloth. Take a look at these. See, they're every bit the same texture, or at least it feels that way, as your regular flour tortilla with shortening. But the mayonnaise will not reheat easily and have a flexible tortilla. So make enough for dinner for tonight. Wrap them in a towel. Cover them in a bowl if you like, a plastic container or something. And do what I do. Yep. I get my little piggy and I put him up on top. ¡Qué bueno, Senor Vecino! Sí. Okay, coming up, Episode 4, Homemade Corn Tortillas. Episode 5, Frijoles en olla. 6, Frijoles refritos. ¡Ay, qué bueno, Senor Vecino!
Food is good.
La comida es rica.
I like to eat it.
Me gusta comerla.
I like fruit.
Me gusta la fruta.
I like fruit.
Me gusta la fruta.
The apples.
Las manzanas.
The apples.
Las manzanas.
The bananas.
Las bananas.
The bananas.
Las bananas.
The oranges.
Las naranjas.
The oranges.
Las naranjas.
The pineapple.
La piña.
The pineapple.
La piña.
The